What up, go for it? What up, Pope? I mean, sort of a win, I guess. I mean, kinda, right? The victory was showing up. That's what the victory was. I really wish I played some games, man, for that. Because like the 40K tournament that happened the day before, I was like not ready for. Like next to no terrain on the tables. I only 2 hours against people, like almost everyone. Every single person I went against was like, this is my first game. I was like, son of a bitch. I'm looking at their armies. I'm like, you have a lot to shoot. Do you know how to do this? Like in my head, I was like, oh no, no. And I got put in a depth, or I'll just call them IG. I got put in Imperial Guard jail twice. Imperial Guard jail with a ton of shots that barely hit. Was me just sitting there being like, all right, you're rolling like 40 more dice. Oh my God. And then I look over at the round clock that they had at the top of it, and I was like, I should have just brought my fucking chess clock, because it's one of those things. What up, Shammy? Yeah, so I won the Underworlds tournament because the app, they set up the game, they set up the tournament for it, right? But never put the button on the tournament to allow anyone to join the event. So when I showed up, I was debating not even showing up for the event the next day because I was so burned out from 40K the day before, because 3 games, 2 hours each. Oh my God. Friggin' Imperial Guard jail for 2 rounds of having to sit there for an hour and a half of shooting rounds. It was just ridiculous. I don't know. And then I was like, all right, screw it, whatever. You know, nothing's really happening Sunday. Maybe I can get a couple rounds in of Underworlds. I think that'd be cool, because I enjoy Underworlds. I'm much better at skirmish than I am at anything else. So I figured I'd get some skirmish in with some card games. I showed up and they were like, yeah, no one signed up for the event. And I went, yeah, well, because you can't. There's no physical way to click sign me up on the page. And they were like, oh. oh no. All right, we're actually going to shade these a little bit. We're going to shade them closer to the middle. This is going to be hard to do. So I walked in, and that's what I told them, because I went to the table they had there, and I was like, so is this where I sign up for the Underworlds tournament? And they were like, oh, well, no one signed up for it, so I don't think anyone's coming. And I told them that, and they were like, oh God. And I was like, yep. apparently like someone used to run these tournaments at this event, and then they like 2 months ago were like, I can't do it. So the event itself started looking around for like local groups that could run the event, and then these guys had like no time to prep for it. So when I got there, they had like no terrain. They had so many tables. They were ready. They were absolutely ready for as many players as they had with the table total. They did not have the terrain for that many players though. Like none of it. We were running Leviathan even though Pariah's out. And then on top of that, they didn't have enough terrain to actually have proper Leviathan setups at all. Like they didn't have the stuff they needed to have proper terrain on the field. God, this is hard as hell to hold.
The boards were full size, of course, but on the board itself, it was basically, how do I show this? Basically, in lengthwise, along the long edge on both sides, there was 3 medium to small size pieces of terrain on both sides of the board. Nothing in the middle, nothing on the sides, none of it. So the tables were like, yo, are you a shooty army? You win. And I'm sitting there with Magnus and a bunch of flamethrower rubrics going, son of a bitch. Like, I can't stall. I can't force turns to take much longer than they should. I can't make him move out by putting cultists in places that are going to require him to go shoot them. I can't do any of that. I actually just have to go. The thing that saved me in the first game was the kid was brand new. Like, brand new to the game. He was still painting his stuff. He had a Bane Blade. And he just didn't know how to use it. Which, yeah. Yeah. First event, that's fine. He did decent for scoring, because my list doesn't stop scoring. My list is meant to just chip away at you until you can't score anymore, and then max score, like, over 2 turns and hope to win. That's pretty much the process for Thousand Suns. That looks good. It's just like a little darker. Let me focus in. There you go. Looks good. I only want a little bit in the middle, because I still want it to be light and airy on the outside. But that second game, man, that guy with all those frickin' IG tanks, every turn. I tried, because I'm looking at the board and I'm like, all right, I can't hide Magnus. You have a lot of range on all of your stuff. What do I do here? The only thing I could do, because I had initiative, was try to take out his, at least 2 of his vehicles, and then a squad of scouts, like, as soon as humanly possible. So I just flew Magnus up the board, frickin' shot 2 of his tanks, didn't kill either. I got him to almost dead, because I rolled poorly on Doombolt and everything. So that was already a sad thing. And then I had a 5-inch charge on his scouts and failed it. And I was like, all right, yep, that's game. Like, in my head, I was like, yep, that's game. And strategically speaking, if we, like, took a step back and we're like, all right, what could I have done differently? I can't hide. There's not, like, turn 1, I'm getting shot. It doesn't matter what I do. I'm pretty much just getting shot turn 1. There's no way around it. Yeah, I got the trophy for showing up, is basically how that worked out. For Underworlds, specifically, not 40k. 40k, I was still bottom of the barrel. I was, like, bottom 3 out of 10. I was basically 8th place out of 10. But, like, I feel like everything was stacked against me. There was nothing I could do. I needed an entirely different list if I was going to be successful in that tournament. Like, I should have brought Soulforged. We should have just hunkered down, finished all my Soulforged models, and went. That would have been fine, because then I would have had the shooting on the field across way too many units, rather than hyper-focusing my potentiality into, like, one guy. Which is what you do with Thousand Suns. Like, there's... If I went that route with Thousand Suns, it wouldn't have worked. Like, I wouldn't have had enough damage. Oh, damn, that sucks. Moving further away? Alright, once we're done here, I think we'll go back to working on the Venom Crawler. Try to finish that bad boy out. I bought another box of Gene Stealers. So we've now got the 2 Pure Strain boxes I think we're going to want. What's up, Sindri? This guy out here from Hot Atlanta. My brother went to college in Atlanta. I think it was in Atlanta. I was debating going to college in Savannah. I'm sort of glad I didn't. Like, I know artists that I follow who did go to that college, but they never attribute, like, their success to that college. Like, it's weird. They kind of just went. Wait, what's up, Dragon? Talking about another Hoyoverse game that isn't coming to the Switch? It was cool to go to the event, though. Because I want to do more of them. I do. I really want to do more of them. Oh, I don't know, man. I haven't really paid attention to that. I'm pretty sure they originally said Genshin was going to go to the Switch. And someone told me that at the events where they were showing it off, they had a couple Switch consoles that were running it to show it to people. And then just didn't release it. For whatever reason. I don't know. Could be contract stuff. Argos Dunes, a Massey Desert. Let's finish these guys up. I want these guys done. But yeah, like I'm hoping this place does better next year with this tournament. Like the problem is that the schedule for the convention isn't good. The convention doesn't open until like 11 o'clock, and you really want, as a tournament like person, to be starting a tournament at 10 if you're going to try to get a full 3 shifts in a day. Because 2-hour games are one of the worst things ever. I'm pretty sure a lot of you who play 40K realize that if a game is 2 hours long, you are not getting out of turn, like the top of turn 3 or potentially the bottom of turn 3. Historically speaking, when I play the really good players at the store that are near me, I do well until, oh god, I do well until turn 3. At the end of turn 3, the game is now turning the tide, and my opponent is going to take a 20-point lead against me because I have pressed the gas, failed, and then now it's just, you know, how many points can they get before the end of the game kind of situation. So when I'm playing into people and like that's kind of it, like if you can build for, oh, my army only needs to do stuff for for 2 to 3 rounds. That kind of sucks. It's kind of like not good for list building functionality. Like, you have to build for that kind of situation. Honestly, I probably should have just brought my knights. We should have just powered through painting the freaking Havoc launchers on them. And done a bunch of carnivores, a bunch of brigands, and like a castigator or a tyrant or something. What up, Long Furby? So, Dragon, the game's called Sleep, I guess. Is it a sleep program? Are they doing another sleep study program? They getting in on that sleep study money? I decided to go with my glowing combo. You usually use a really light yellow. Alright, you apply a light yellow. I have started using SoFlat's light yellow because it does get really nice and flat on the actual surface, which would be this pale yellow from SoFlat. And then I take this golden high flow fluorescent green, and we just go over top of it. Good to see everyone in, though. The event was alright. It was good to get out and actually do it. Because honestly, the only other thing I would have done that day is basically just sit at a table. Which probably would have been technically better. Apparently the signing for the stuff that I was actually there for was crazy. There were so many people. They actually had to make all the guys at that table like go outside and let that signing continue while another signing was happening, because there were just too many people looking to meet and greet with the podcast that I'm on. Meanwhile, I was just 9 hours straight playing a really long-winded game. It was funny to see the reaction from the people that I work with as to the whole like 9 hours thing, and they were like, "Oh, dude, I would if you're losing, I would hate to like have to keep playing throughout the day." And it's like, no, you don't understand. You do. You have to keep playing. Like, the goal is to just get games in, because it can turn around for like top 3 and stuff like that. The whole thing. Like, they're just used to regular brackets, like knockout brackets. whereas the 40k Swiss pairing system is there so that, you know, you show up with your army, you're excited, you don't leave and around. But yeah, next time they do the event, they need to either split it into 2 days or change something up. There's no way with the tournament or with the event schedule that they're able to pull off a proper 3-round tournament in a day. You can't do it in 2 hours. If they do it again in 2 hours, I'm building a list that is only meant to survive until turn 3 and do crazy stuff. There's no other reason for me to do anything. Like, you can't build for deep strikes in a game like this. You really can't. Or maybe you can, I guess, if you're quick enough on turn 1. It worked out for the Blood Angels guy, because I'm an idiot. That was actually a massive misplay by me. I flamered down almost all of one of his squads, and I was like, oh yeah, that was cool. And then I decided to charge when I really didn't need to, because I had command points. I could have just overwatched it to death. The other squad that was coming wouldn't have made it, and then I would have just won. But like I keep telling people, when I'm in burnout mode, the bloodlust is so hard to hold back. It is so hard. Because all I see is, oh, I'm gonna roll some more dice. Let's see who else I kill. I killed no one. Like, I killed actually no one in that squad. And then lost like 4 Rubric Marines. Because Blood Angels. I also mispositioned my, like, there was a lot I broke apart there that I really shouldn't have. I mispositioned my Exalted on a disc because I was trying to screen my back line, and then I was like, oh, let me shoot his Terminators to slow them down. I didn't need to do that because he was going to stay on that point. He needed to stay on that point. He didn't have anything that caused sticky, and he had nothing on the field, so he was going to just start losing in points if he left. Oh, Zone's Endless Zero. I mean, you can't demand people go to the Switch. I still genuinely think the Switch is just constantly kicking itself in the ass. With, like, maybe its policies or systems. I get that there's so many fans of it because, you know, Nintendo is basically a cult at this point. But, like, assuming it deserves anything, I don't think it does. I think it's, like, whatever at that point. And I know John likes to bring up that it is a big group, or it's a big what is it, market share. Millions of people purchased it kind of situation. But what is that market? Like, what do they really go for as people? I know indie games claim they get a really good bump when they sell over there, but there's also some indie games that come out that we're like, oh, that'll be great, and then we never hear anything about it being, like, useful or successful for them. So I think the market segment of the Switch exists. Like, we know what it is now. And companies can make good decisions on whether or not they think it's worth putting their stuff on the system. I mean, we can all be disappointed. I'm disappointed that when I was sold on the Switch by everyone I work with, that I thought it was actually going to be Nintendo turning around their usual ways of not caring about the competitive scenes, the online play, the user experience, blah, blah, like all these things where I'm like, Nintendo's never good at that. And then everyone was like, nah, it's going to change because this system's huge. It's selling millions. They're going to make all the adjustments. They're going to allow for the online to be good. Like, they're going to do all of this to make it better. And then they didn't. They just kept going the way they were going because they were making money and they didn't care. Because why would you, right? If you're already successful, why would you want to, you know, improve? There is a little bit of paralytic fear when you're successful of like, well, I could add more, right? Like I could do more, but if I do more and people are mad that I did more, like if there's a big cross section of people who are like, I bought your system because I hated files or I hated folders on my game consoles, then like you lose it, right? So like, why? Well, the excitement for a lot of people with the Switch is that it's extremely cheap. So for people who don't have a lot of budget to purchase like a gaming PC or any of the newer consoles or whatever, it became this like beacon for them of, oh, I can still get entertainment, right? I can still have interactive entertainment. But I don't need to drop like $1,000 to have it. That was always the thing. And then the games were already like pretty passively cheap by comparison. So it just, I don't know, became a sort of like, hey, do you just want to have fun for cheap? Here you go, type situation. Which, like, power to the people who want that, I guess. But also, when I say out loud, I don't care about that side of it, don't be like, oh, well, you're an asshole. It's like, no, I'm just telling you that I don't care. Like, that's... I'm not saying you shouldn't care. I'm just saying I don't care. It's a different world, man. Post-COVID life is straight fucked. IMO. Like, we forgot how to socialize, dude. It's over. Zero listening comprehension in human beings anymore. It was cool, though. The 40K tournament was pretty fun. Because, you know, working in the YouTube bubble, I keep seeing those thumbnails from all the doomsayer channels of just like, it's over, Games Workshop's dead, and reasons why Games Workshop's gonna, you know, close down in like a year, blah, 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 blah. And you always see like the people who are just like, yeah, it's because all the people who play it are old. There was one guy over 40 at this tournament. Everyone else was in their like early, like late teens, early 20s. Like and if you watch any of like the big tournaments, it's the same thing. Like a lot of the people at the tables are like late 20s, early 30s. So this notion of just like, oh, it's all like the old heads. They're all good at being like 50 now. There's gonna be no one to buy the stuff anymore. It's like, I don't think you understand what's actually happening. I don't think you see the stuff I'm seeing. We're 40K players. We'll put in 20 hours to try to make the models we like look incredible, only to witness them vanish off the field in one turn by a guy who spray painted everything black and decided that was as far as he was gonna go. I was the only one there with a fully painted army, I think. I don't know. Well, No, yeah, the second IG guy I fought had, I think, all of his tanks painted. So yeah, Goobertown was there. Duncan Rhodes was there. It was great. I don't know who on this site watches Legends of Evantris, but they were also there for their Crooked Moon stuff. It was cool. It was very cool. And to anyone wondering, yeah, they're basically the same people in public as they are on that show. I kept going to after parties and events for the convention, for like the guests and stuff. And like, it was the exact same thing. Like, still just cracking jokes, boisterous laughter. It was just a lot of craziness. It was cool. I mean, everyone's still kind of in their bubble. That's the weird thing at like conventions like this, because there's a lot of bubbles, like social bubbles, of people who will really only interact with the groups they know. So there was some networking going on, which is cool, but like for the most part, it's, oh, well, we know each other from the past like 6 years, so we're gonna hang out with each other and pretty much not talk to anyone else. But it is what it is. I mean, we're all nerds. Hard enough to get us to socialize. Oh, dude, 40K is suffering. We do it to ourselves. And my brain was on fire, dude. After Saturday's tournament of just powering through, because we had a 20-minute break, and thank God I had access to the green room, because I walked in and I was just like, let me grab sodas. I'm gonna sugar spike myself. Oh. Sugar and caffeine blast and just go. Hope we make it to the end. But yeah, I got a shirt that says winner on it from the Underworlds event. Dude, I just wanted to play, man. I debated the whole night, and I was like, you know what? A skirmish game with cards would be the best palate cleanser. Like, after the wildness of how the 40K tournament turned out to actually be, I really wanted something that was like, you know what? There's no way bad terrain is going to cause problems with this. You're just going to play the game, you're going to have fun, you're going to get to the end of it. The 2-hour time limit for rounds is actually feasible. Like, that's the crazy part. This had the same time limit as the 40K tournament. And, like, that's feasible. Because you can play, if people know how to play Underworlds, you're finishing a game in, like, 30 minutes. It's so easy. It's so good. You're just powering through, scoring points. get to the end of your final round and just be like, yay, we did it. Best of 3, here we go. It was perfect. But yeah, I think next time they need to split it between 2 days. They have to split the 40K tournament between 2 days, and they need to bring way more terrain. They were not ready. They did not have any Leviathan terrain setups. Apparently the tournament was also random draw. Because I was wondering, I was like, are they going to hand us the missions? Are they going to be like, round 1 is this combo, round 2 is this combo? No, they were like, yeah, just draw your cards. I was like, oh, okay. A little weird. A little wild. A little crazy. Well, we'll see what we can do. All right. Streamers complete. Beautiful. Simple and beautiful. Like I didn't want them to be crazy. I didn't want them to be like overworked, overdone. They're just fun. Fun colors. A little bit of we applied a little bit of pearlescent ink under it so that you'll see hints of like purple and pink as you turn them around in the light. It kind of worked out. They're good. Now, I really want to get this other Venom Crawler like close to done. Problem is how. Because I think I need to clear most of this table off. We're going to airbrush a little bit. Let me put these guys in a box and then move them aside. These guys out of here. We also need to finish up the Predator parts at some point. Dude, we've got so much work to do. Next week, we might actually stream almost every day, if I'm being real. We're probably going to stream every day. Because I really want to power through and get like a lot of these projects done. So I just have access to things we can play tournaments with. I can do videos on. Be great. This bad boy. Get the backsplash up. We cleaned the airbrush the last time we did this. The one part on this airbrush that I use that keeps going bad is so weird. I keep forgetting that that's also one of the main things that go wrong with this airbrush. So when it starts going wrong, I freak out a lot and I start working really hard on like taking certain things on it apart and doing certain stuff. I'm like, oh, I gotta figure this out. We gotta do this. And then I remember, like last second, it's like, oh, I just gotta put one of these metal straws through the thing on the top, and it's over. I won't have any issues anymore. So we're gonna use white ink, and then we're gonna go between orange, yellow, and chartreuse for all the glow effects. I'm also going to want to tape certain parts of it off, I think. Because the last time I had to repaint the back legs because the white ink was hitting them while we were doing it. Airbrush time. I need to refill my airbrush cleaner bottle. Boing. Alright, white ink. I need orange, yellow, and chartreuse. Those are going to be the 2 tiers of glow. I kind of want to preemptively tape some stuff off so I don't have to worry about it. This is basically the process of learning what you actually need to think about as you go. Because the first one I didn't tape off, and I had so much to fix when it was done. Probably should have picked up one of those Pro Acryl packs or something while I was there. They actually had some cool stuff I never see locally. I mean, they had the 2 thin coats boxes. There was one table that was selling I'll fix that one. There was one table that was selling Pro Acryl stuff. Turbo Dork. They had a section of Turbo Dork. There's actually a person selling, I've never seen this before. It was like an airbrush that was explicitly marketed for miniature painting. It was like a tiny compressor, and the guns were like almost visually and aesthetically almost video gamey in a way. Like they were really bright colors, and they almost looked like basically like a sci-fi gun. And it was weird. I didn't expect that. Never learn from your mistakes. Never. Get a bunch of white ink in here. Liquitex. White ink. Alright, we actually gotta be careful with this. I'm gonna lower. I'm lowering the PSI. More. Okay, little other direction. There you go.
Still hit a little bit in areas I don't want, but we will be doing some fixative anyway. Perfectly fine. Let me dump this out. Clean the bottle. Yeah, I'm gonna have to refill this. Pretty much out of my cleaning solution in my squirt bottle that I got. Because they always give you a giant freaking cleaning solution bottle. Garbage. I'm not holding that thing up and trying to put anything in here. What did you guys do over the weekend? Anything fun? Anything crazy? Where's my funnel? Oh, there's my funnel. Come with me to the sink. Guys got any fun plans? I picked up my second box of Gene Stealers, so we have 2 squads of Pure Strains now, which is, I think, exactly what I want. Still haven't found a Bioaegis. That's actually kind of a huge problem. Have I not opened this yet? Oh, this is a fresh bottle of cleaner. Word. Because I do think I want 1 Biophagus for this team. I'm still trying to tinker in my head with how we're not going to have a lot of characters and how I'm going to make that work as a GSC player. But I think we're just about good on it, I want to say. Because I think I'm going to go 1 Sanctus Sniper. Probably 1 Saboteur. The Primus. At least 1 Abominant. I mean, we're already at probably too many characters out loud. Because I'm also going to probably think of wanting Clamavises to keep my backline shut down. There's a lot of questions, man. A lot of questions and a lot of adaptability, which is why I like Gene Stealer cults. It's because they are way more difficult to figure out builds with than Thousand Suns are right now. But that difficulty also makes them a little annoying. Paintballs. I don't think day 2 Sean. At the end of the convention, at the end of day 2 of the convention, Sean was basically just in his room. We went over to say hi. And he was just under his covers. Friggin' talking to us about random dumb shit. It was awesome. Classic Sean. I was at the table when he pulled his phone out and just said out loud, I'm gonna go live. And I remember John going, no, don't do it. And he looked over at me, like, slight glance through those big glasses of his. And I went, do it. Like 100%. Just do it.
Because we were all out, like Wood and like Bob and stuff. Like we were all out for most of the early part of the night. I think Bob was there. I know he was at the after party. I'm trying to remember if he was there for the restaurant we went to. It was a group. We were trying to figure out if Sean was coming. We were like, yo, where are you? He was like, I'm at the after party. The lady here pours really, really alcoholic drinks. We were like, oh, this is going to be good. By the time we got to that after party, he was sloshed. It was over. He was standing off to the side, just yelling, saying the inner thoughts out loud. I'm surprised. Like it was weird. My guess is that the cost of getting the voice actors that they did to this convention might have ruined some of the after party potential, because a lot of the older conventions of this that I went to for like as a guest, the after parties were always a little crazy, and there was pretty much an after party every day but Sunday. So there was an after party Thursday for people who showed up on Thursday. Which the convention wasn't even on Thursday. They were just like, oh, if you get here on Thursday, because, you know, you're traveling and you want to, you know, be rested up for the next day, you can be here Thursday, and we're going to have a catered after party on Thursday. It's like, what? Okay. I guess that works. This time they were like, you're going to get hot dogs on Friday. We're just gonna let you have hot dogs on Friday, and then that's it. And it's like, oh. I was there when they did the build your own burrito day. That was awesome. And now they're just like, yeah, you get hot dogs. You're gonna get hot dogs, and you're gonna like hot dogs. Okay. Okay. Like There shouldn't be this much air coming out of this. I lowered the PSI a lot. It doesn't look like it got lowered all that much, though. There we go. Need to dump out my dump cup at some point. It's getting kind of full. We got so much to do before my my soul forged are done. Actually, a little annoying because I bought another fiend, so we got a Mauler fiend to build, and I have my other rhino, which means we got to build that so that I can do double rhino. Where'd my phone go? I need to double check something. I got a rhino in this Thousand Suns list because I was like, oh, I'll throw a thing of cultists in it. Completely forgetting that cultists can't go in rhinos on the Thousand Suns list. And now I'm like, I have 2 rhinos in my Soul Forged list. I kind of want to know if that's not something I can do. Because if it's not, I need to make an adjustment. It can't transport Terminators, Jump Pack Obliterators, or Possessed. Okay, cultists can go in. They are none of those things. Ah. Love it. Love it so much. But yeah, we've got a lot more priming to do. We got a lot more painting to do. That's why we're probably going to try to stream every day next week for at least a couple hours. Because I got to get all this stuff done, man. At some point, we need to stop painting and start playing. I had this whole plan where we were going to like run mini games of just like Underworlds on stream or something. Figure out how to just do like casual little weird games with the community. Okay. Shutting down airbrush. Don't need it no more. You can already see all the paint that it saved from hitting on these back legs. Perfect. Gotta get some fixing in. It's gonna be Pro Acryl White. Gotta find the gold that I wanted to use for this. Glittering. Anything else? We already have the chartreuse out. I think we're good, because once we get all this done, I have to put the basing material on both. What time is it? Almost 1? Not bad. Not bad at all. The corrective I usually want to do is to finish the tongue out with white. To hit it fully with white with the airbrush would actually cause a lot of issues. Hitting a lot of areas that shouldn't be hit. And then a main thing we need to do if I can find my thin brush. I think we're gonna do the eye colors in
green. Because the other one has an eye color in magenta. Actually, no, yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it in green probably. Let's preemptively hit with the white. All the little eye lenses. Cool. Take a look at this other one, make sure the corrective gold. Yeah, we'll do the corrective gold in a lot of spots here. Yep, corrective gold. All right, Pope. Gotta get this corrective gold down.
What up, Rax? You got back all safe and sound, it seemed like, on your Twitter. So that's good. We never did get our game in, but I mean, you seem to be wandering and having a good time, so works out. Technically, if I taught you the game on Friday, you and me could have dueled for the shirt that I got and the trophy on Sunday. Although I don't know when you left. Sunday's always that weird day where everyone's like, I think I'm going to leave now. And they just kind of like wander off. Jesus Christ. Classic RGT. Can't even doubt that as a possible story. It is just too classic. It was a good bit. Definitely was a good bit. It depends. I know the Spawncast tends to run into his hymn time. And he's also very clear that John's format of the Spawncast being very topical is not something he's like super interested in. Phone call, hang on. Okay. Yeah, no, it was pretty legit. Oh, I don't know if you saw it. I mean, you probably would have seen it in the thumbnail. Ta-da! Champion. All I had to do was show up, because no one else came. Because everyone assumed that they couldn't go, because apparently there was the sign-up function for it wasn't working. So, you know, good times, good times. Okay. What we need to do with these guys, both of them, is I kind of need to pool areas underneath of them. I'm going to get this guy's eye lenses painted too. We need to pool areas underneath of them. That's what I'm saying, man. If I taught you the game and you were actually around on Sunday, I don't know what you were doing. Could have been you and me dueling for a trophy and a shirt. There we go. Green eyes. No, yeah, a lot of people game hunted. I think Ryan got an inbox Pokemon Yellow. He opted out of getting red or blue because all the different places that were there had like slightly damaged boxes and stuff. So he was like, whatever. He's really looking to finish the fully inboxed Pokemon game collection he has, but he wants them to be like good. He doesn't want to just do it to do it. And he found his Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Because he was like, man, no one plays Yu-Gi-Oh anymore. And I was like, yeah, I know. So here we go. Gotta get the sand down. Oh, word? It was a fun game. I liked the first Space Marine game. It was very close to Gears of War. The multiplayer was awesome. Again, though, like it's like anything else GW related. I really wish they didn't focus so hard on Space Marines. But at the very least, that game had a pretty lore accurate orc presence, which I think is really good. I love the orc presence. I can't remember, though, if that's the game where you get introduced to a Warlord Titan. I know Fire Warrior had a Warlord Titan in it. But I'm trying to remember. Oh, dude. I don't know if you were around for, like, the fun weirdness in this tournament, but or in this convention. But Ryan brought a bunch of like his old Pokemon cards that he just had sitting around that he didn't want anymore, because he's not really like a collector of that. And he had this plan where he was like, all right, I'm just gonna trade these in, because there was a group there that was cool to trade stuff in with. I think it's PPG or whatever. So he went to that table and dropped it off because there were a lot of people trying to get all their stuff appraised. And he was like, yeah, I'll be back. Just let me know. And they're like, cool. So he comes back, and what he told us was he was expecting like $90. So when they looked him square in the face and went, we can give you $500 in store credit, or like 400 something. I'm getting another phone call. Yeah, he had like a Rayquaza EX and stuff that he was just like, whatever. So he traded those in and then bought like one booster box of Yu-Gi-Oh! Or one or two booster boxes or something. Like he really wanted the Yu-Gi-Oh! Boxes because him and his friend play. And then he turned around with the rest of the money, took it out in cash, and then bought Pokemon Yellow in box because that's what he wanted. I might have to step away for a second here. Okay, so the goal was to dig out a little trench to be like the puddle. Because we're going to try like a pseudo resin pour. Using this new material I purchased the other day. There's no way we're going to be able to do it today. This is going to take forever to dry. We might actually end up just building the Gene Stealers. Yep. There we go. Hang on. Yep. I almost don't want to build those Gene Stealers, though. I don't expect myself to play Gene Stealer Cult anytime soon. I mean, we're so close to the full Void... or Soul Forged that it's like... if I don't try to, like, finish out my Soul Forge, I'm gonna be very mad. Because I'm one... what is it? I'm one Biophagus away from having everything I need on hand for the idea that I have. But that means that I just don't have the Biophagus. Whereas I think I have almost everything I need.
That's the problem, man. I'm also one defiler away. The thing I actually want for my Soulforged is a defiler, because it's so good. Like, defilers are just so good. I'm gonna crackle paste, I think, the rest of the stuff on this base. Give it a little topography. But yeah, things I've learned playing a 1500 point Warhammer 40k tournament where you don't know what the terrain's gonna be like. Honestly, dude, if I was, this is the thing, right? Oh, sort of, Arturo. Sort of. Caveat to it is I was the only one that showed up. Because the event organizers didn't, like, both the main event organizers and the 40k event organizers kind of messed up a little bit. The main event organizers didn't really advertise that there were going to be tournaments here. It was actually you guys that pointed out that there was a tournament here. You guys were the whole reason I actually showed up with 40k stuff. Because had you not, I probably would have just not taken anything that I had. And then the specific Warhammer organizers, when they put in BCP that there was this event to sign up for, they didn't set it up with the link to sign up for it. I mean, people say that, and I get it. Yeah. But, like, a win without a challenge for me is just, like, free stuff, right? Like, it's like, eh. It's cool. It's free things. Like, I'm pretty sure they didn't expect anyone to show up. So, like, they didn't even have stuff really set up for it.
And then I walked in there with my box of Underworld stuff and was just like, when are we playing? Hey guys, do I sign up at this table? Oh, no one signed up, so we're not doing it. Well, no one signed up because you guys didn't let the sign-ups actually happen. So that was their mistake. But also, again, like, yeah. Oh, it's gonna be a hard part to get to without caking crackle paste on everything. Cause like I did really wish that I was gonna get in on an Underworlds tournament for like the weekend. But yeah, big thing learned for 40K. If it's 1,500 points or anything like that, and the event organizer's like, we only can do it in 2-hour rounds, I'm just gonna bring a chess clock. Because worst case scenario, my opponent screws me over, right? And the thing is, all the opponents were new. Like, all the people I fought were like, this is my first event, and stuff like that. So, I'm not, like, completely leaning this on them as an issue. I'm still pretty new as well to events. But, like, the lists they brought to this event, the amount of shooting that those lists had, like, we're talking, like, big Tau shooty lists for a game where the rounds are 2 hours. I fought IG players, and I swear to God, the shooting rounds that I had to go through with IG was just like, yo, sit back, relax for 45 minutes. Because there's nothing you can do about what's happening. Like, alright. So I felt like we just didn't get enough time in. And honestly, if I was a stickler for the chess clock, like if I was a chess clock guy, right, I would have won both of those games. Because one of my opponents would have run out of his time in turn 1. Like, the amount of time he took to finish picking and choosing which tanks shot into which units. I lost Magnus because I freaking missed a 5-inch charge. Hooray. And there's no terrain on any of the fields, so, like, I was screwed day 1, man. Friggin' right out the gate. I won the first match because, like, my opponent rolled poorly into me, and that kind of sucks. But they were trying to have an event for Underworlds. That's what my trophy's for. Alright, there we go. Gotta do the next one now. Yeah, here. Focus. Why aren't you focusing? Yeah. The Underworlds event. They were trying to hold it. It was in the it was in BCP as something that was coming, but you couldn't sign up for it. That was the problem. Is that the signups for it didn't do what it was supposed to do. But the guys were a little last minute. Because apparently there was someone who used to try to run these tournaments at this convention. And like 2 months prior to the convention like starting up, or being like ready to go with everyone locked in, he called out. He said he couldn't do it anymore. So apparently the gaming convention, the people behind Too Many Games, contacted this group and was like, can you please do it? So they were like, yeah, sure. So they had like 2 months of prep time, like 2 months, which is freaking insane. I'm surprised they pulled off what they did, but they didn't have enough terrain for the tournament. Yeah, like if that tournament was full tilt, tons of people there was not enough terrain. That tournament, the first 2 rounds at least that I played, catered to shooting heavy armies so much. Like, if you were a shooting heavy army and you got initiative, you basically won. You were going to leave your opponent with nothing to do any of the missions with in turn 1. My army was mid to close range, and I didn't have the opportunity to get to mid to close range in all the ways that I want. I got some opportunities, which was cool, because I basically flamethrowered a Land Raider to death. That was kind of cool. It was cool to see that. So yeah, I went up against IG round 1. They had a Baneblade, but he rolled poorly, so I was actually able to deal with most of what he had, and then I caught up on points and then overtook him. But like 2-hour rounds, or 2-hour games for 1,500 points, consider that the scores by the end of it and the sort of built-in demand for me to like have to go turn 1, because I'm not surviving if I don't, kind of screwed everything up for me. Like, I should have probably gone, I should have probably swapped to knights, like the ones that I thought I wanted to go, because I was aiming with my knights list to rock my tyrant with the volcano cannon, and then have a bunch of brigands and carnivores on field. Let me dig in the trench here for the oil slick spill that we're gonna try to do. No, not the triple abominants. I would have tried like a real list. Tyrants, or one tyrant, because that prevents deep strike from 12 inches, which is what you want. He would sit on the back line. I'd probably give him panoply. I'd probably take one stalker with the mark that allows for sticky objectives, because I'm not going to have enough bodies on the field to not sticky objective things. Either that or I'd take a despoiler. Actually, I could have taken a desecrator, honestly. Well, a despoiler probably, though, would have been better conceptually. Take a despoiler, give him the one that marks stuff on the ground, the objectives. And then just go as many brigands and carnivores as I can, probably more brigands than carnivores. Which would have been maybe like 3 or 4, honestly. Next to nothing to move, tons of stuff to roll, high potential of just wiping out enemy vehicles, or if they were tank heavy, wipe out tanks. Because I probably would have gone Geist Strike missiles on the Tyrant alongside the Volcano Cannon and Plasma Cannon combo, because I can't Deep Strike or bring the tank in from reserves. I just can't. It's not something you can do. So he's got to sit back and basically prevent deep strikes in the base, but it is what it is. I still made some very bad plays, especially in the final round. I had the upper hand. I probably won. I think I wasn't tracking my points properly. I was so freaking burned out. I was running on a Butterfinger. I was running on a Diet Coke, a Butterfinger, like a small Butterfinger. From the green room. I basically went into the green room because I was like, I need sustenance and I have a 5-minute break. So a bag of goldfish, a Diet Coke, and a Butterfinger. That was all I ate for the entire event. The entire 9-hour event. I was so burned out in the final round that I wasn't tracking my score the way I was supposed to. I'm pretty sure about that. And then I also, like an idiot, decided, even though I had command points, to charge Ahriman into a squad of Blood Angels Jump Pack Troopers. I could have straight up just been like, dude, if you move, I'm going to overwatch you. Just be aware. But yeah, the guys there were really new. The second Imperial Guard player I went against he didn't know how Overwatch worked. Like, he was trying to figure it out, and he had the core rulebook with him because that's what he was running with, and I had to inform him that there was a data slate and that he should probably check the app. Because he was like, oh, I can't. He was like, I can do this once in move and once in charge. I was like, no, they changed it because that was way too powerful. So they shifted it to once per player turn or something. Once per round. Or whatever, battle round, yeah. Unless you have a guy that exclusively says he allows for another Overwatch. No, I didn't forget to bring snacks, but like, the snacks I brought just weren't good. They weren't good enough. I had no energy. Like, halfway through round 2, I was just dead. Nothing in the tank.
Okay. Now we just gotta wait for those bases to dry, which is gonna take forever. There's a lot I should have done differently. But, okay. So this is key. If you're ever planning on running a tournament, if you're ever planning on doing any of that, a key thing you really need to think about as a person who's trying not to be an asshole to your community, put in your tournament information what the boards are going to look like and how the mission format's going to be. Because when I got there, I was assuming we were going to be dealing with Leviathan pack missions. I was like the Leviathan pickup of stuff, basically. Like, oh yeah, here it's this primary, secondary, tertiary, and this is the terrain layout, like that kind of stuff. The Leviathan balanced mission packs. That's what I was hoping for. And instead, we got random draw missions, which that's horrifying if you know what I'm talking about. Next to no terrain on the field for the first 2 rounds. And like, I would have gone Knights if I knew that. Because the worst thing that could happen to an enemy team against Knights is to have no cover. My Knights are always going to have cover because the terrain was so small that I would just always make sure there was a piece of terrain between me and the enemy. Always. And then I would just have sight on everything. I'd be sitting way back with my Tyrant just like, here's a plasma cannon, here's the volcano cannon, here's the Geist strikes, here's the friggin' blast anti-infantry BS. And then I'd have a despoiler off to the other side with the dual Gatling cannons, just like, and I'm going to wipe out 2 of your tanks with this guy. Like, it would have been a whole thing. They'd be firing at the brigands and carnivores coming in on them. And I'd have 2 guys in the back who were just like, I'm gonna wipe out half your army in a turn, dude. Like, it's just how it is, because you cannot hide from me. Impossible. It's impossible. Alright, let me grab this. Well, actually, what time is it? 1:30. Yeah, we're gonna... Do I want to do this to myself? I got a place to put them. Behold. Pure strain gene stealers. Take a look at this how to build. I've never built like actual gene stealers before. Ooh. Oh no. Oh no, these are very much you only get 1 pose. Oh no. Okay, so there's a body rack, a leg rack, and then like 2 arm racks. So I think the goal here... We got a couple things we need to do. Step 1. Step 1, step 1, step 1. My methodology for building Gene Stealer Cult was this. Wait a second. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, wait. 10 miniatures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Am I losing my mind? I mean, I have bonus stands. But you guys literally just witnessed. You literally just witnessed Games Workshop screwing me over. Where's my bases? There we go. 10. So, the methodology for this is actually to prep it. We're prepping the bases before even ending up applying them. Most likely because whatever they put together didn't have the right number. Because they do kind of bulk throw this all together, right? All right, what I'm gonna do here, we're gonna put the glue down here. Kind of hate this glue container. Oh my God, it's still coming out. I really need it to stop. Do is, that's not a magnet I need. I'm gonna grab one of the magnets. Touch. I have to wash my hands. I kind of hate this glue, but it's really good. Because it does like the hot glue bullshit where it like gets really stringy. Oh, I also ordered the giant carrying case. Like the supersized version of what I use right now for my Underworld stuff. It's like 2-tiered. Like there's 2 halves to it. You can fit a Primark easily on one of the halves. And have like enough room to spare to put like a shelf of stuff on it as well. Actually kind of cool. Kind of pog. So yeah, we pre-prepared the bases. Because what I ended up doing with my Gene Stealer cult was rather than gluing them to the base and then applying the basing texture paste, we would put the model together. Oh, Uhu. The Uhu glue. Uhu glue is great. I would not use this glue as Uhu glue. It smells so bad. It's so chemical. I'm pretty sure, like my finger, when the last couple weeks, has been like really dry skin. Like it looks almost like chemically burned. I think it's because of this stuff. Like once I'm done putting the glue and the magnets on here, I'm gonna take a step away real quick and wash my hands with soap. And we'll be right back. I probably should use gloves when I use this glue, but
but I keep forgetting to put my gloves on. But yeah, people use Uhu glue because it's meant to be stringy. Boom. BRB. What, Uhu glue? Uhu glue is great. Alright, I need gray primer. The crackle paste that I use for this is not good at sticking to anything that isn't primed. We always toss the primer down. And we use it just to brush on. So we can have something to stick to. Because the way I apply, like, we're going to be building all the models, basically, once this is done. And what we do afterwards is I apply the crackle paste as a flat sheet across the surface. We then glue the model directly through it. We basically forcibly glue the feet of the models into the crackle paste, so that the crackle paste itself has like this one good consistent flat texture that happens. I got a few things I got to do these next couple days. I want to try to work on the data slate video tonight. Try to get it out by Wednesday. And then I got to put together the files properly for my buddy's book cover. Get that to him. Apparently the book looks really good. He just really wants the... Once it's all done, the person he's working with is going to try to get the cover together. Which means I'm going to get her all of the components of it separately so she can actually position and shape the logos and everything the way she wants to make it work. Uhu glue is good though. I don't play an army that really benefits from extreme levels of gore. I could technically Uhu glue the dripping chemical effect on the venom crawlers I want to do. But that's about it. I'd be more of a wire person. I don't know if you've seen the cool lightning effects you can do with wires. Where you basically glue, you kind of crimp and shape a wire and then you glue it so that it looks like it's arc lightning off of something. And then you paint it down with white primer and then you hit it in areas with like fluorescent colors and stuff. And then you usually do like a really tight airbrushing. Just a really tight airbrushing where the electricity hits the parts on the model to make it look like it's lit up a little bit. That's the direction I would probably go for myself with all my Thousand Sun stuff. And I could technically do it now. Like, everything's varnished, so everything's good the way it is. But if I really want to do like lightning effects, I could easily go back in and get them all done. I was debating going back in on Magnus and fixing up his spear to actually look like it's more lit. I kind of like how I have it set where I made the sphere on it gold and then applied like a weird overarching like sludge slime to it that just looks, it looks so awkward on the surface of it, and then it becomes the bright green flame that's coming off of it. It looks kind of cool. Okay. Where did I set down? There they are. There they are. So this will dry. I think we try to do the bodies first. Oh, Night Lords, Tyranids, definitely. Death Guard you can go the other way with. Death Guard you can grab your Uhu glue and mix it with like a green so you can get the sludge. Make them look extra slimy. One, two. I'm gonna have to double build this. I have another box. I sadly couldn't find a box from before the price hike. So I had to buy a price hike box. I was hoping there'd be boxes at the convention. The place that was running the tournament had stuff, but they didn't have any of the things I'm looking for. Because I'm looking for the Biophagus. I was looking for one more box of Gene Stealers because I kind of want to chill until the Necromunda box drops. Nice. Dude, if you can go whole army of Aztec, that'd be great. Having something so beautifully themed, like, and consistent is just so good. So now I got 2 people locally thinking of using me for commit work. Just need someone to finalize the idea and go with it. Go all in. 8-7. There might be a stint of time where I don't stream for a little bit. I am going to be doing an event at some point in time this month, now that it's July. Apparently, there's an anniversary coming up for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and the local comic book store wanted me to do something. They wanted me to like go there and hang out, maybe do some sketches and stuff. And I kind of want to get a print together before that starts. So I got to double check the date, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to need to go hard here pretty soon on trying to get a pretty cool print together. That way I can just sell a print. Nice and cheap. Maybe get like 20 copies of it or something. Dude, Aztec Dreadnought? Let's go. You're basically playing Thousand Suns, but Space Marines. Alright, 7 on this side. So I bought this box, I bought the carry case, which means I think past maybe a Biophagus and the Gene Stealer Cult cards that I still need to pick up. No more tabletop spending this month. Literally top of the month, we purchased what we can. Gotta keep the budget. Four, 3, 6, 5. There's the 3. Oh yeah. Necrons are great for the Aztec stuff as well as the Egyptian stuff. I feel like Tau could be good for Aztec as well. Probably a little harder to pull it off, but I don't know. There's something about them that feels still very like tribal. Even like the non-Kroot Tau, they still feel very tribal. In like a weird way. I still haven't fought Tau. I did a little better at this tournament. I probably could have. They had one Tau player there who was stomping people. Because again, no terrain. No terrain. Open firing lines plus Tau equals Tau win. Tau victory. So had I done better, I could have played against them. But I also got screwed. I feel like Seraphon are just passively Aztec. Like they're already there. There's like nothing you gotta add. It's just game on. You got your Aztecs. You play AOS, you got a team picked out for yourself, Steel. Sticking with my disciples. No reason to switch it up. Don't want to buy a whole new army. Corn demons. Nice. Alright, my first ever Gene Stealer. Never built Gene Stealers before. $13, $12. $204. Might have to call it soon. I gotta go get something to eat. I'm fucking hungry, man. So hungry. Get this next one built, and then we'll probably bail. Again, I want to try to get a data slate video together for the data slate that dropped literally the day before I left for the the convention and tournament. Like, goddamn, dude. Games Workshop and their timing sometimes, man. It's cool seeing Goobertown at the convention. It was cool seeing Duncan Rhodes. I always watch Legends of Evantris on the side monitor when I'm editing, so them being there was also kind of cool. It was also cool seeing the paint and take section. Like, it was a whole section cut up so that people could go there. You get a model pre-primed, and then I think it was Duncan Rhodes one day, and then I want to say Goober the next, maybe. But they just did a paint and take day. You'd come in, you'd paint, and then you'd get the hell out. All right, what kind of head can this guy take? 21, 22? And those tables were full every day. So that was really cool. The issue of... Oh, I gotta change music. I'm not hearing the music anymore. The issue of having cool conversions on hand, now that I'm thinking about it, dude, it was a struggle deciding against taking my Castigator. They're fun. They're fun. This wasn't even really a tabletop one. The way Too Many Games works is the front half is like all vendor, right? Vendor and arts tables. That's pretty much all you're doing up there, is just vendors and arts tables. There's a room that's a bunch of rooms that are designated for like talking and stuff and having little events go on and all that stuff. Just really cool. The second major room, like the second major hall, was just tabletop stuff. But because it was tabletop stuff, I think they had like 10 vendors, and then everything else was just a table so that you could go and sit down and play, which that's really cool. That's actually really cool. There were so many people playing so many games, which was fun to see. And then they had a small section off to our side, which was meant for tabletop tournaments, which is where we did it. And then a little area of tables, about like maybe like 6 picnic bench size tables for, you know, art, painting. And the whole time I was trying to get ready for this event and plan for like what I was going to take, I kept thinking my Castigator looks so cool that I really want to take it with me. Like, I wanted to just be on a table with a Castigator. But, in my opinion, of all the Cerastus Knights, the Castigator is one of the weakest. He gives Sustained, which is a really good function if you have a lot of shots, which Brigands do. But the problem is that, like, his attacks don't really hurt that much. They're great anti-infantry. But if you're going to need to anti-tank, he has to go to melee, which tanks don't normally want to be in melee range, so running towards the tank with a Castigator is a surefire sign that that tank needs to move a little bit to stay out of range of assault. And then that's it. Like, that's... What else are you doing? $14, $15, $17, $16. Oh, and this one gets a fun base enhancement too. Where's 20? Oh no, I don't doubt it. My buddy had the old Gene Stealer kits because he used to play Nids back in 5th, and he had a ton of Gene Stealers. He loved Gene Stealers, he loved Lictors. That's what he went with. He had some Carnifexes. They didn't look that great. I remember them being like almost blob-like. There wasn't a lot of detail, because I mean, old sets, right? I don't like that these feel very monoposy, although I do think in the next batch that I work on, I could probably tinker around with which arms go where. Give them a little bit of different life. $17. I'm gonna figure out where 20 is. Come on, small rock with rebarb. Where are you? They changed the base sizes too. Oh, there's 20. So, if you have the old models, even if you're like, I don't want to go to the new ones, you're still going to need to razor blade all of them off every single base that you have. That, to me, is bonkers. I get why they do that when they start to like try to adjust base sizes to prevent certain amount of people from getting into combat easily, stuff like that. But like, oh, I would hate to be the guy who's like, I've loved Gene Stealers my whole life. I have maximum tier Gene Stealers accessible. I can take as many of them as I want. And then to be like, oh, you gotta change the base size. No. Dude, especially if I painted them in a way where there was like OSL and stuff, where the base actually had like color and purpose. I think Etsy has conversions, right? Where you can put the base that you have onto a different surface to give it like a conversion size, so you don't have to, you know, keep doing crazy shit. But yeah, so we'll have aberrants, 2 full squads, 2 abominant options, although I think I only want to use 1. Although 2 might actually be really good because they're not expensive as a model and they're super durable and they hit like las cannons. Like there's almost no reason not to go double abominant. At the very least, I'll probably not go 2 full-size squads of aberrants. I'll probably go 1. And then 1 full-size, 1 half. And then just give them their leaders. That way they can fully maximize their benefits of -1 wounds and stuff like that. I gotta figure out which enhancements to give. Dude, I know this list isn't gonna do well. I'm pretty sure it's not gonna do well. It's gonna be a little annoying, but it's not gonna do well. But those enhancements, it is very hard to figure out exactly which enhancements I should take. Like, genuinely a difficult option. Boom. Gene Stealer number 2. Real quick, I'll show you the process. The way I do it for my Gene Stealer cults, because I was getting very annoyed with how the crackle paste was going on to a lot of stuff, where you had to kind of pre-spread it out, or you spread it out and then it would like do weird things where you had to like put it around feet and it created like weird rubble blendy things, and it was problematic. So what I do with the Gene Stealer cult is, because they're not on the base, now that the primer is down, you just put the crackle paste on as you want, right? Clean the outside. It allows you to kind of do these weird, like, you can barely see it. Let me see if I can turn. There's you basically make it a small topographic thing. You see like the little edges and stuff. You kind of build it to feel like almost sheetrock. Then you go to the guy you're putting on, slap some glue on the part that connects. I might have to slap regular glue though. This glue is probably not the right kind of glue. And then you just kind of press down. I think I'm gonna clean that off. Grab the other glue. To me, is usually not a good idea for this part. So yeah, kind of the method and process that I explicitly employ with my Gene Stealer cults. Pre-texture. Because I don't want it to be as thick as cork. But I also don't really want it to be super thin. All right, so later in the week, hopefully the bases on our Venom crawlers will be done. And the hope is that the crackle paste, because the crackle actually reduces size as it dries. So it should pull in. Citadel Crackle, the Citadel Technicals, I feel like when they dry, there's something weird about them. They pull apart a lot more, I feel like, but they're good, is what I'll say. Citadel Crackle is not bad, but the trick is with Citadel Crackle is you get that, like you get whatever the color of the technical paint is. So if you go Mordant, you get black. If you go Agros or whatever, you'll get like the browns, or so you get it pre-colored. The trick with Citadel, or the trick with Golden, is that it's white. It's white and it's primed. So you can apply whatever colors you want to the surface to get whatever the outcome you want is. Right? I like how this crackle paste dries a bit. There's a couple variations you can like trigger by either applying more or less. I think one of the main things with the Citadel one though is that whatever chemical is in it clings to plastic more. You have to prep the surface for Golden Crackle a little bit, and maybe you don't want to, and at which point it's like whatever, just use Mordant. The issue, yeah, that's kind of an issue. I've tried to do the lava crackle with this, and it doesn't spread enough. Like, what the methodology you're using is the standard one, right? Where it's you paint the surface yellow and then you apply the Mordant Earth on top of it, or the Mordant Technical, and it crackles just enough to see the yellow through it. Which, I mean, that's a good method. I tried that with this, but because there's primer in this paste, it basically just paints the surface white. So when it crackles, you just see white. So you have to do a little bit more with this type of thing to try to achieve the magma effect. So it's a little different. The methodology really for this to try to do magma effect is to do the surface, hit it with like a yellow contrast, and then try to do like a surface painting of like grays and blacks. It's like the only way to really do this part. Yeah. I have not tried PVA glue and then put the crackle paste down. So I don't know how that works specifically, but my method for magma bases is a little different with this crackle paste. What up, Rax? I'm probably gonna head out here in a minute. But welcome back, man. And again, kind of a victor, but whatever. Not like really a victor, but sort of a victor. Dude, I just wanted to play. I just wanted to play Underworld so bad. But yeah, we got 2 Gene Stealers of 10 done. Later in this week, there's a chance we might set aside the Gene Stealers because I still have to build a Rhino. I still have to build a Forge Fiend. Or not a Forge Fiend, a Mauler Fiend. So that we can try to get our Warp Smith stuff done. Our, what is it? Warp Forge? Yeah, our Warp Forge. It's a lot, man. I'm actually debating taking home the Mauler Fiend and my glue and everything and trying to glue it all together while I'm getting this video done. But that's kind of the problem, right? Like if I have it at home, I want to be like, oh, let me just build this Mauler Fiend. And next thing you know, 3 days are going to go by and I'll be like, man, I haven't done anything for my edited video at all. So I got to make some decisions. But I'm hungry. I need food. Yeah. Hopefully a video in the next couple of days of the data slate that came out forever ago, because convention made me not release that. Maybe we do take the Mauler Fiend home. I'm gonna have time on Wednesday at least. I need it done, man. We need this. We need the Warp Forge done. The Obliterators are built that I'm not even planning on using, but I think I have to use one squad for my list at the end of the day. We've got the Rhino, or we've got the Predator parts out, but I still have to magnetize them and put them together. The cannon on top is done, but the side sposons need to be basically put together properly.
Oh, so much to do. Fucking sucks. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Thanks for chilling. It's good to be back from the convention. We got to really sink in and get back to work. I have so much B-roll for so much stuff that I have no plans on using, and I kind of want to change that. So we will get into it. Yeah. Till hopefully Thursday. Later, guys.